Okay, so good morning everyone. So our topic today is about curricular modification in basic education during and post-pandemic. So I am Jelaine Dulwan, the reporter of this topic. So before we proceed, let us know first our learning outcomes. So first is explain curriculum changes introduced in basic education to address learning-related problems brought about by the pandemic. The second one is identify the different modes of teaching delivery during post-COVID-19 pandemic. So before we proceed, let's take off. So let's read the following statements and relate them to curriculum related actions taken by schools to prevent the disruption of learning even as classrooms are disrupted. So first is less is more, avoid inch deep and mile wide teaching, and I cannot see the trees because of the forest. Okay, so these statements suggest trimming down the curriculum to the most essential for effective learning. So, when the curriculum is focused on essentials, kapag daw nakafocus tayo sa mga kinakailangan at mga importante, the inch-deep, mile-wide teaching approach is avoided na iiwasan natin yon. And then, the teacher teaches the most essential to the point of mastery. Thus, less becomes more, and there is less to teach because of focus on the most essential, and as a consequence, learner master the lesson. So we have here the MELCs, the most essential learning competencies. So a part of basic education learning continuity plan, or the BELCP, is the 60% reduction of learning competencies found in the K-12 curriculum guide from 14,171 competencies listed in the K-12 curriculum guide to 5,689 most essential learning competencies. Okay, so one common problem that teachers meet in the teaching is the overcrowded wide inch deep teaching. So isa ito sa mga problema ng mga sa mga common na problema ng mga teachers na kung saan naka-crowded sila kasi madaming mga estudyanteng tinuturuan, and then madami ding mga tinuturo, and then mas dumagdag pa yung mga papers na ginagawa nila, kaya nagiging overcrowded yung teaching. And so let's do the mile wide, and it may lead to more focused teaching. And so teaching should focus on essentials. So mag-focus lang tayo sa mga dapat at mga kinakailangan na matutunan ng mga estudyante natin. So the key to success is doing less by the Wall Street Journal in 2018. So make teaching simple. So according to Maida in 2006, she says the first principle of simplicity is reduce. So the reduction of the learning competencies to the most essential is a thing surely welcomed by both teachers and students. So we have also here various curriculum delivery modes. The first one is we have the online learning. So alam ko naman na familiar tayong lahat sa online learning. So ito yung isang paraan na ginawa ng education system natin para magpatuloy pa rin yung pagtuturo kahit na nasa kalagitnaan tayo ng pandemya. So the DepEd explains that online learning is one of the delivery modes among all others in this new learning environment. And so the DepEd directed its field units to determine the most appropriate combinations or strategies of learning delivery for every locality, taking equity concerns into consideration. So it is wise that schools consider valid concerns related to online learning raised by stakeholders. Okay, so most of the concerns are connectivity and accessibility. So lack or poor internet connections in school. So, di ba dati is nakakaranas din tayo during the online learning is nakakaranas tayo ng poor internet. And then, access for teachers and students, availability of equipment such as computers, smartphones, printers for both teachers and students. So, yun, nangangailangan tayo ng mga phones, ng mga computers during the online learning. So, next is we have the alternative delivery mode. So, dito is alternative delivery mode, or the ADM, refers to that non-traditional educational program recognized by Department of Education, which applies a flexible learning philosophy and a curricular delivery program that includes non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. Okay, so meron tayong tatlong accredited ADMs. We have the modified in-school and off-school approach, and the enhanced instructional management by parents, community, and teachers. The impact for primary education. So, dito sa modified in-school and off-school approach is, ginagawa dito is, pwedeng magturo sa school and then pwede din sa off-school approach. And then, sa enhanced naman is, dito is pwedeng minamanage siya ng mga parents or the community or the teachers. Ito is para lang sa mga sa primary education lang. Okay, so next is we have the distance learning. So, distance learning modes of education include delivery of education content online, digitally, or through radio and television. There are used to be school on the air. In this COVID-19 crisis, the Philippine government offered government-run television and radio stations as platforms for delivering lessons. Di ba dito is, meron tayong mga channel ngayon sa TV na kung saan merong mga specific topics na dinidiscuss doon is, and then doon is pwedeng, doon na mag-aral or matuto yung mga estudyante. Dito, doon na sila nag-aaral mismo through the television or through the radio. And then, next is we have the homeschooling. Homeschooling is another flexible learning option recognized by DepEd. So, in fact, this is not only a stopgap solution in times of crisis. So, based on policy guidelines released by DepEd, homeschooling provides learners with access to formal education while staying in and out of school environment. So, dito is pwedeng mag-aral pa rin yung mga estudyante whether nasa school sila or nasa outside sila ng school environment. So, and then, it is meant for learners in unique circumstances such as illness, frequent travel, special education needs, and other similar context. So, ito is pwede siya sa mga estudyanteng may sakit na hindi pwedeng makapasok sa school, or kapag mayroong emergency travel or on travel, and then yun. So, authorized parents, guardians, or tutors take the place of teachers as learners, facilitators, and given flexibility in learning. So, dito is yung mga nagiging teachers are nagiging facilitators here is yung ating mga magulang or yung mga parents. So, to enroll children in a homeschool program, parents or guardians should do so through a public school, through a private school that had given a permit to offer a school program, or through homeschool providers, which are learning centers or institutions that provide homeschooling. Okay, so next is we have the alternative learning system, or the ALS. So, it is parallel learning system in the Philippines that provides a practical option to the existing formal instructions. Ito yung mga dito pwedeng mag-aral yung mga na behind na, or yung mga hindi na along, so yung mga hindi na along yung age nila sa grade nila. So, dito is pwede silang mag-take ng ALS. And so, when one does not have or cannot access formal education in schools, ALS is an alternate or substitute. So, naging substitute siya kapag hindi mo nasundan yung proseso ng pag-aaral, which is mag-undertake ka ng 6 years sa elementary, and then 4 years sa high school, and then 2 years sa senior high. So, kapag hindi mo na sunod yung process na yun ng formal education, is pwede kang take ng ALS, which serves as substitute. Also, ALS includes both the non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. So, meron tayong major program sa ALS, which is the basic literacy program, and then the continuing education program, or the accreditation and equivalency. So, these programs are both modular and flexible. So, this means that learning can take place anytime and any place. So, yung pag-aral is pwedeng mangyari kahit anong oras or kung kahit nasaan ka mang lugar. So, nakadepende siya kung kailan ka available and kailan available yung mga learners. Okay, so that would be all for my discussion, and thank you for learning, or thank you for listening.